All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Baseline Pull Up. We are back fresh in the brand new year. I'm here with my guy Kimani Key. All right, so today we really got a fun and exciting one. As you guys both know, we are now business partners, friends, family. This is truly like my brother. So we're gonna get into really getting to know him. So I'm not gonna do a whole lot of talking right now. You guys know I can get into talking. So we're gonna make him feel a little bit comfortable, okay? He's a little camera shy, so you guys make sure you show him some love, drop your comments, ask questions. We'll be sure to get to those, after we get through with everything during the interview, okay? So let's kind of open up a little bit. Key, just kind of tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
My name is Kimani Key, played basketball here in Birmingham at Shays Valley High School, then went on to Alabama State, then played at University of Montebello. Graduated in 2016, got into training around 2017. Just wanted to be able to just help the community, help people around, just love basketball, being able to want to just share my knowledge. Don't want to get too much, but as we get going, you guys will find out a little bit more.
Yeah. So he's being a little modest right now, but you guys will really get to know a lot more about him as we go through some of the questions I have here for him today. So Key, you kind of introduced yourself. We know that you've got that basketball background. That's something that we share in common. So kind of tell us a little bit about how you truly got into just player development training. What really drove you to kind of change in this direction, transitioning from a player to now still being in a coach's role, honestly, because now, we're on the opposite end. We're giving knowledge of what we gain and what we learn. So kind of tell us a little bit about how you got into that.
Like you said, I think that was the biggest thing, being able to transition over, being able to pass knowledge. I feel like I have a lot of knowledge. I don't know everything, but I do feel like I have enough knowledge that I can pass along to help somebody else. So just getting into training, I can honestly say probably around 2017 is when I first really just got into it. That's when my business became official. Started a little bit before that, but nothing too serious. I was kind of always just that guy that played basketball. Everybody kind of knew who I was, kind of wanted to get in the gym with me. So anytime I came home from college, there were, several people, whether that be parents or players, just saying like, hey, can you get in with my child, or can my child get in with you? So after college, moved to Houston, didn't really know what I want to do, kind of knew I wanted to take a break from school, been in school, pretty much your whole life, till about 22, 23. So kind of wanted to just take a break and focus, recalibrate, see what else I wanted to do next. Knew I still want to do something with basketball, but not sure exactly what. So kind of fell in that little place, like, okay, like, I want to be able to pass this knowledge. I have a lot of knowledge to pass, but how can I do that? So I had a lot of people in Birmingham, had a lot of people in Houston that were saying, maybe you should train, maybe you should do this and that. And it was kind of natural, but I didn't know if that's what I wanted to do. It was natural being in the gym, passing knowledge, being able to get on the floor with other people, show them what I know, while also learning some things that they know. So that's pretty much how it started. When I finally moved back to Birmingham, talked to one of my friends, and me and him just like, hey, let's go ahead and start this together. Let's do this business thing together. And we both have a lot of knowledge that we want to pass, and that's pretty much how I got started.
Yeah. And the biggest thing that we all find in common as athletes is that transition gets really tough.
It does. You have to take yourself out of who you're training. You can't put your expectations on them. Everybody's different.
Absolutely. So I've kind of got a little taste of coaching, coaching basketball, and also just going onto the side of the player development. So, what you said was absolutely true. You really have to take yourself out, because now we're in a position where we're teaching, just like our coaches had to take themselves out as well. So now it's come that full circle, and we're in their position, and we're really looking at it like, this is what they used to be telling us. This is why they used to get mad at those moments. This is why, they had all of their say-so on this and that. So that transition can be really gruesome in a sense, but it's also very rewarding, because at the same time, we're able to find ourselves outside of just putting on that uniform, day in and day out.
I agree.
So that's great. So let's kind of move forward, and let's talk a little bit about. I'll get to this question. This is a question I want to get to for you. So, you're here with the player development. We want to talk a little bit about how strong that player development is, right? So we've all got clients, from different areas. There are different clientele, but you actually have the opportunity to kind of train some of the big time players in the state. Let's just be honest, right? So if we were to name a few, we talk about Renee Kelly from Hoover, we talk about Jordan Hunter from Trustville, we talk about DJ Fairley from Hoover. So kind of tell us a little bit about how it feels to train high caliber kids, and this is an opportunity really for you to credit yourself, because you have to be able to have that retention for them to come and train with you and say, hey, I like this guy, I want to continue to come back and train with him each and every day.
Yeah. I think it's kind of it's a testament to the players too,
right?
Because they know they're going to get challenged.
Absolutely.
They're going to be out of their comfort zone, and those that want to get better are going to continue to come better because they feel like they are getting better and getting pushed outside of their comfort zone. So I mean, I personally feel like that's the challenge that I face, is continuing to push those kids that are of high caliber, getting them out of their comfort zone, not necessarily doing anything that's extreme or crazy. It could be something simple, but they're young, so they still have to learn it, and we just rep it out. So I think those are some of the biggest things for me. I know everybody say I do have some high caliber clients, players.
Absolutely. You said that correctly. Absolutely.
Yeah, but I mean, it's I guess I could say, they push me at the same time. So I push them to get better. They're pushing me to get better. Like every time I come in the gym with them, I'm trying to find a new way, not to only challenge them, but to challenge myself. See how far I can push them, how much better I can make them. And it's also building a relationship more than trust. So I want to, not only are we like, that's my client, but they're becoming family.
Right.
So I think that's some of the things that I've learned and I've grown to, because I can be a very reserved person.
Right.
I was a very reserved basketball player. Like I did what I had to do on the court, but outside of that, I was to myself. Like, so I can kind of relate to those players, especially the ones that are high caliber. You know, that tends to be how they are. They're a little bit standoffish. So I can kind of relate to that, and I feel like that's what helps us, right? So I've been through a lot of things being that type of player, and I can kind of see ahead. You know, they say hindsight is 20/20. So I'm able to just see ahead, like, hey, you know, maybe you shouldn't do this. Maybe we should do it this way. You know, you want to be able to do it different, especially if you've been down that road before.
Right. And I think a big thing that you said there is, you know, sometimes just we're content in what we do, and by content I mean we know what we're doing, right? So we're able to really get this knowledge. We're able to tell these kids, you know, fundamentally, this is where you need to plant that foot. This is where this hand needs to be. But we're never comfortable. So a lot of times people can see us as you know, trainers, and they're like, well, you guys wake up, you come do this every day, you go home. Well, it's way more to that. It's way more to that. They don't see us in the gym where we're getting our own personal workouts in, where we're watching film. You know, we're studying players, we're studying other trainers who may give us knowledge, who might be those, you know, our OGs in the game. So there's a whole lot more that goes into it than just having your clients, your players, really, truly your family, because that's what they become, like you said. Show up to their training sessions, right? So we always have a specific plan where right now, hey, this is what he's got to work on this week. This is what she's got to work on this week. So it's truly a full-time thing. And also, we got to also think about this too. So not just having them come in here and train with us, but then look, we got to go to games, right? We got to see how they're able to translate everything that we're teaching them, everything that they're learning, to really see, hey, all right, so we worked on this, didn't really see it here, so let's work on that a little bit.
It's a full-time investment for both ways. Like, they're investing in us, and we're investing in them.
Absolutely. So as we talk about those type of players being high caliber, of course, but also you got your middle ones, you got those who are just starting to as well.
Right.
So kind of fill us in on what's truly your training philosophy, right? So and when we talk about the philosophy, sometimes I feel our philosophies can kind of change, and sometimes they're a little bit different, just depending upon what caliber player you're teaching, right? So my philosophy might be a little bit different for my high caliber players as opposed to you know, my beginner level players. You know, I might have some different expectations for them. But kind of what's truly your training philosophy when you come out here each and every day?
If I had to go with two, I would start off with footwork and balance.
Okay.
No matter the caliber.
Absolutely.
I would definitely go with footwork and balance. They can come in here and be the greatest, and if they can't do this right, left, or left, right pull up, we gonna focus on that. Right? They can do everything else, but I want to be able to focus on those basic things.
Absolutely.
So I think it all goes back down to the fundamentals. Like, I know when they watch Instagram videos, they gonna see the highlights, but you guys, when we're really in the gym, we're focused on those basics, those fundamentals, and we're just continuously repping them out.
Yes.
So those two, footwork and balance, and I would say being able to get people out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
I think I really push people with that one. So those are the three for me. Those are my three.
Yeah, I like that, especially footwork and balance. So I'm one of those trainers too, and I get the opportunity to see you work out a lot of kids, just like you see me work out a lot of kids. So, but those are big keys that sometimes a lot of people overlook.
Right.
So a lot of times when we get some kids in here, you know, you see them and they've got the athleticism.
Right.
You know,
Right.
they can get a jump shot off, they can run fast. But we actually do a simple pivot, and it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more challenging.
Getting that
for
triple
them.
threat.
Getting that triple threat. So we have to put them in positions where they're able to grow there, because sometimes what can separate good and great and elite players is just a little small gap of the basic fundamentals that they may have missed, you know, kind of along the way.
Can I add to that?
Absolutely. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I guess another one would be efficient.
So
being,
there we
being
go.
efficient in a game, but also in your work.
Absolutely.
Working on things that you know you're gonna do. And there's nothing wrong with working on things that you know you're not gonna do as well. But what you can see yourself actually doing in the game, what your coach wants you to do in the game, I think those are things you also need to hone in on. So I put a lot of emphasis on those as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree. I always feel like I want to work on what I need to work on, and then as I build and I get really good at that, now I can move on to the next.
Now you can start expanding.
Now we can start expanding that package, you know, because some kids come out here, and because basketball has become a very flashy game, let's just be honest, it's really, really flashy. Got some really, really athletic kids who play it now, but, you know, if you miss one step, just like we talked about, it's going to be hard for you to get that next one. So take it slow, build the basic package first. You know, it's like buying a package, you know, basic, you know, premium, kind of like K1 sometimes. So, you know,
like we talked about, one of my favorite trainers, and yours too, Phil Henry.
Phil Henry, absolutely.
Right, he always says he uses Legos or building blocks. So you start at the bottom and you build on top, but no matter what, you don't change the bottom. You don't change the fundamentals, you don't change the basics, because when you do, that whole tower is gonna fall. So I like to stick by that as well.
Absolutely. That's great. That's great. We think so much alike. It's kind of crazy.
We really do. You guys have no idea.
No idea how much alike we think. So, moving into the next question, and this is fun. Don't get all emotional, man. We ain't done yet, so don't get emotional on me now. He can get a little emotional on me sometime, y'all. So now we've come here. Year 2020 was super crazy, right?
It was.
Super crazy time with everything that's going on. It's still carrying over into 2021, but we just learned how to adjust a little bit better. But kind of tell us what it means to you to not have your own location, that we're actually physically getting to sit in, have keys to, be able to come here whenever you want to, all access, no waiting around in the gym, no trying to find a gym to train kids. You got a home. How does that make you feel? You know, kind of tell us a little bit about that.
That feeling, it never gets old. I can tell you that. Pulling up here every day, being able to stick your key in the door, open and walk in, that feeling never gets old. First, it was kind of overwhelming, and sometimes it still is. And I don't realize it. Neither one of us realized until somebody actually said something like, "Hey, you guys are 26. You're doing this and you're doing that." In the moment, you don't feel it. You're just you have these dreams and you're pushing forward, but in that moment, like once you hit one milestone, your mind is telling you, "All right, on to the next one." So I know I have to do a better job of that. We probably both have to do a better job of that. Actually, like really breaking down and sitting in the moment. But if I had to sum it up, I'd just say blessed beyond measures. You, huge blessing to my life. God sent. I promise you guys, God sent.
Likewise, you know the feelings of me.
Yeah, God sent. But again, like that feeling never gets old. I mean, I can give out so many stories of just like just like you said, go to a gym. Somebody tells you have a time. You get there, you gotta wait 30, 40 minutes, and you know you only have a limited time anyway.
Absolutely.
Like you have clients that are waiting on you, but it's really not your fault. It is, but it's not. So like to your clients, it's like, golly, why is this guy? Why he can't get his stuff together? Why can't he do this and that? But I mean, it happens. So now just having your own, I really can't explain. Other than just saying like blessed, I cannot explain.
blessed is definitely the number one word.
Yeah.
If I had to sum it up, man, everything would go into each letter in that word.
Yeah.
We definitely had some super highs, you know, because everybody always sees the outside, right? So they see man, Kimani, they see Chelsea, they like, oh, they got their own spot, but y'all just don't realize.
Oh my goodness.
The back end story
Right.
of really securing this place.
Yeah. The day-to-day, like, it's been some struggles. It's been some struggles.
It's been some struggles, yeah, you know, so a lot of times when you see people who are successful or on their way to being successful, you know, everybody gets the glamorous life of it, right?
Right.
So we always post what's good to you guys, right? We want you guys to see the best of the best. But it takes a lot.
It does.
It takes a lot. And there's been nights where me and him have been here 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, a little past that sometimes working. So, but like you said, I couldn't agree more. Blessed would definitely have to be the word. You know, if anybody asks me that, even from years and years and years on, that's still gonna be the number
Right.
one word that I would always have to come to.
Right. I mean, I just feel like we put so much time in, like, to get to this point.
Yeah.
Again, nobody sees the struggle.
Right.
Even they don't see the struggle now, they didn't see the struggle before. Some people feel like it was kind of like a handout, but I promise you guys, we put the work in, we put the time in.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not gonna say, I guess you could say we just kind of reap the benefits.
Yeah.
We kind of reap the benefits of doing things the right way.
Right way.
And I could tell anybody that if you're doing something, just keep doing it the right way. Someone told me, don't look to the left, don't look to the right. Just keep your eyes straight forward.
Yeah.
Stay on the path, just keep doing the right thing. And I promise you, if you're doing the right thing, you're grinding every day, things will move in the direction that you want to move. It might not be on your time. Maybe it's gonna be God's time.
Yeah.
And that is your time.
Yeah. Absolutely. And it comes, you know, I kind of say this is like when you're going through that grind, and every day is a grind, you know, continuously go through one, but you really pay your dues during that time, right? And then eventually, after a while, once you pay those dues so much, then, you know, you finally get to make a big purchase.
You do.
You know, so that blessing finally comes on along. So what we can really say is just continue to stay encouraged. Whatever you're doing, stay on that path. Don't give up, because all it takes is one day to say, I'm not going to do this no more. You never know, the next day could have been that breakthrough day.
Yeah.
And really, that was how it was for us. I mean, when we go back, talk about the story, we ain't going to get all into those details, but it took us about, 3-4 months to really close the deal on this, you know? So it wasn't something that was overnight, like we pulled up and said, hey, this is it, let's get it. It was a process. It was a process.
Long process.
It was definitely a process.
It was some dark days in that process.
Dark days in that process.
Man.
Didn't know the lights were gonna come on dark in that process.
Right,
so,
right. Sacrifices. Made some sacrifices to make this happen.
Yeah, still making sacrifices.
Definitely.
So, but yeah. So yeah. Again, like, there goes us thinking like so much. But the blessed would definitely have to be the number one thing that I would say as well. So as we sit here before you and kind of coming to a close, and I hate it because I can literally talk to this guy all day.
Sorry.
But so we noticed we got something a little different, right? So, you know, coming here, I got a grind shirt on, right? Y'all probably think, why she ain't got no HowWeHoop stuff on? Well, this is my dude, right? So I support him just like he supports me. So I got my grind shirt on, and that's kind of something that I want to kind of conclude with is you got a very particular brand, right? So when somebody sees your logo, somebody sees your brand clothing, like it's really, really eye-catching. I remember when we first met, he had on his Keep Grinding stuff. I'm like, ooh, okay, that's kind of fly right there. That's kind of fly right there. So, you know, with that being said, you're kind of going into, you know, a lot of your clothing line. So kind of tell us a little bit about what the clothing line means to you. How did you kind of transition into that too? Because sometimes you can see a lot of trainers, and I'll put myself in there too, I got to do a better job, but, you know, they don't branch off in different areas. So you really become a hot commodity in the Birmingham area with your clothing brand. So kind of just give us a little insight on it. You got some collections coming up, anything you want to show us? Like, you know, kind of talk about it.
The transition. So initially it started as, okay, basketball trainer. You know, just want to have your shirt on. You want to have your logo, your name of your company. That's how I started. Then I kind of, you know, had a vision basically.
Yeah.
Wanted to do something different. Didn't want to do anything that was too crazy. Kind of wanted to keep it simple. Like for instance, this shirt. Like I love this shirt. It's super simple, but it's like it gets the message across. Like keep grinding, grind. Like I feel like we're all like everybody's on the grind. It doesn't matter if that's basketball, if it's football, if it's just anything. A teacher. Like everybody's on an everyday grind. So I think just that simple word, it means a lot to me. Because I know that I mean, like again, been doing this year 4.
Yeah.
Like it's been a grind. To get this building, it's been a grind. Like it just, like you said, it didn't just happen overnight. So I feel like just with the brand alone, it's nothing. I mean, it still has some work. We got some work we want to do. Got to put a little bit more time in it. But it's growing. It's growing. I have a few items. This is one of our first shirts. Very simple, but you get the point. Keep grinding. Like no matter what's going on, just keep grinding. No matter what you're going through in life, you keep grinding. Also, similar. So we also have kids clothing, you know. And I could have brought a few more things, but like you know, for instance, we have the hoodie. But the transition, literally, it was just moving from basketball to want to do something a little bit different. And I'm trying to move it into. I've had talks with different people. We didn't know if we want to do like urban. I don't want to do urban. I want to keep it in a sportswear brand. I want to keep it a sportswear brand. I want to, like you got everybody loves Nike, right? Just do it. It's very simple, right? So I've been a Nike guy like my whole life. Been a Nike guy, but now I'm gonna keep grinding guy. Like I'm a grind guy. Like that's when you guys see me, you already know what to expect. Like you know what I'm gonna have on. So I guess that's really what it is. Kind of supporting yourself for one thing. Just supporting yourself. I'm trying to see what else. I think.
Tell them a little bit about the you got full sweatsuits. So
yeah. Okay.
Not even just t-shirts. Like you got you all out, man. You all out. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we do have full sweatsuits. So we have the hoodies, we have the joggers. As the season changes, I'm gonna try to move it into basketball shorts or just athletic shorts. So take away basketball, just put just athletic shorts. Try to move into that realm. Get some different shirts, some different slogans. I do want to branch it off even more, trying to separate it even more from basketball, where it is its own thing.
Right.
So right now, so if you guys look on Instagram, I call it Grind Sportswear. So I have a separate Instagram to keep it separate from basketball, just so it kind of does its own thing.
Yeah, and it's kind of made available to everybody. You know, this is, you know, even with the shirt that I have on, or even with your first shirt, it doesn't have to be worn by somebody who plays basketball,
not at all.
Or even an athlete.
Not at all.
This is
not at all.
Somebody, hey, I'm on the grind. I want you to know, like simple, like you said, straight to the point. The shirt says a lot, you know. So every day we're out here on the grind. So that's one of the best things too about what you have to offer. Is not, you know, sometimes we see a lot of basketball brands and it's literally, we know that's straight basketball.
Right.
If I'm not a hooper, you know, I'm thinking, man, why I gotta walk around with that basketball shirt on?
This is for the everyday person.
For the everyday person,
the athlete and the everyday person.
Yeah, the everyday person. Yeah, that's big time. That's big time. So we've covered a lot here today. You guys have kind of got to know us, you know us a little bit better, especially Kimani for sure. So again, like I said, one of the biggest things is this friendship right here has definitely been a blessing. So I was kind of telling Kimani, you know, last year I said, man, look, you're gonna be on the show soon, so you gotta be prepared. And he was like, oh no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
Trying to put it off.
He's been trying to put this off for a long, long time, but I know this is something that everybody's been waiting for. So definitely glad, so thankful for everybody who tuned in tonight. We can't thank you guys enough for the support. You know, anytime, you know, we post anything about the Grinding Hoop Factory, which is our facility name, we get a lot of support, a lot of feedback. So give us a few more weeks. We're really gonna have a big surprise for you guys in store. So just continue to bear with us, continue to support us. We love to support also. So please, anytime that we can be available to help you guys, reach out to us. I promise you, our phones are always available. You know, we're up shoot, I don't even know times where we sleep,
Right,
honestly.
right.
So, and that may not be a good thing to say, but, but we're always here, always available for you guys. So whatever we can possibly do for the community, please let us know. We'd be so glad to help you guys out. But before we go again, I want to personally thank Kimani. Thank you so much for doing this, coming out your comfort zone. And
Thank you for having me.
yeah, getting on camera with me, so I really appreciate that. We wish the best for Keep Grinding, wish the best for Grinding Hoop. We know that this has been a blessing from God to truly put us together and being able to have this facility to do big things in. So
I agree.
Anticipating that for sure. But again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, any comments, whatever, we'll be sure to get to those. Again, we really don't answer them while we're interviewing, so just leave them, inboxes, call us, go on the website, see everything that we have to offer. We've got our Jumpstart camps at the end of the month, so those are for our elementary and our middle school kids, so make sure that you get involved in that. Okay, that's 4 hours of instruction for only $55, so go ahead, sign your kids up. We're gonna have a great time in a beautiful facility, and let's just go ahead and start the year 2021 off right. All right, till next time, peace.